Hello everyone, I'm TheOneCalledRPG and welcome to a review of the Banjo and Kazooie plushies from Fangamer. So, right out of the box, the first thing you'd probably notice is their tags here. They're really well detailed too, actually. Like, Kazooie's has a little bit of a gradient on it, and Banjo's has some shine details. Really nice. And of course, they just have some information on them for you. Both of them actually come in a set, and it's like $36, I think. It's well worth the money if you want a Banjo and Kazooie plush, though, because the only other two that exist, well, there's actually 3 of them. One of them's really bad. I don't know who made it, and they honestly don't look good. One of them is from Japan. I think it was a UFO catcher, and that's the Takara Banjo and Kazooie plushies, which go for like $400 on eBay. And then there's the BD&A beanbag plush. It's good, and it's a pretty solid plush, but it's cheaply made because it's BD&A, and it was only meant to be sold for like $5 or $10. It's $100 on eBay. But enough about the tags. If you're not looking at the tags, the first thing you're gonna notice is, well, the plushies, and they're really soft, like really soft, like extremely soft. No, Olimar, this isn't about you. Joking aside, these two are extremely soft plushies, much like Olimar was when he was first out of the box. Like, ooh. Softness aside, I should start critiquing the plushies. They both have a very nice touch tag here, which says Banjo-Kazooie. You open it up and it has some information in Japanese and also English. And it's just your standard touch tag stuff. It does have the Fangamer logo on it though. And it's actually small and out of the way, so that's good. Kazooie is a posable plush. You could pose her wings and her legs. The sculpt, or rather model, for Kazooie, it's really accurate to the games. Outside the long neck. She does not have a very long neck at all. But I mean, the other Kazooie plushies didn't. Hey, this Kazooie actually has feet and also has more detail in like her face and wings. And if you actually look at her body, it's a gradient in felt. It's very strange, but it's very cool as well. Also, it's in the wings. Now let's move on to Banjo, who is the real meat and potatoes here, kinda. Again, his touch tag is actually up here, under the bag normally, so that's not in the way at all. That's really nice. Banjo's also very accurate to the game. The bag has so much detail on it. Number 1, there's a Velcro on it, which you can close and open. And number 2, there's embroidery here, resembling straps, as well as the Rare logo, which is something that only this plush has, if I'm not mistaken. Banjo also has this thing here, which is his little necklace. I never really got what this was supposed to be. Is it like a shark tooth or something? It's not actually attached to the plush, and you can take it off, but his head's too big to take off. So you'd have to cut it to take it off, but it's securely in place is what I'm saying. It's not gonna just fall off. And the string itself is a pretty good quality. And the stitching here is like, it's stitched through this. This isn't coming off. The bag's also not going to come off because the bag is actually stitched right here to his arm. But that's okay. Banjo doesn't really need to take off his bag. He's Banjo. Banjo has really nice embroidered eyes. Also, I forgot to mention, Kazooie has some really cool embroidery on her eyes as well. I like the felt that they used with, well, it's not really a felt, but I like the fabric that they used with Kazooie because it blends. It's so cool. I haven't seen any other plush do that yet. Banjo's mouth is actually embroidery here, as well as his little freckles. His nose is basically a black cotton ball stitched onto his face. His little muzzle there. His muzzle, honestly, that's the only reason why I prefer the BD&A plush. The muzzle is not exact. Like, looking at it head on, it's pretty good. Looking at it from the side is when you start to notice, it's still a really good plush though, and he's soft. Also his shorts, I should have actually talked about this before saying he's soft for the 18,000th time. His shorts here, It's a different material than the plush itself. The bag's also a different material than the plush itself. And the shorts are stitched on as well, so they're not going to come off, unlike the BD&A. And I think the Takara plush also has removable shorts. Anyway, no, these are not actually sewn onto the plush, but they are at the same time up here where the belt is. And his feet also have embroidery, which I should also mention Kazooie's feet. Her feet really do look like talons with claws attached to them. Kazooie is really solid plush. A really solid plush. Banjo as well. Now one thing about this plush is the size of the bag. This plush is actually pretty large. Like, I'm gonna compare it to Olimar, who is the same size as the Sine Olimar. I can't really get a good shot here in the frame, so I'm gonna move the camera back a little bit. That's the comparative size of Olimar to Banjo. And Kazooie, right here as well, is about the size of your standard plush. So Banjo is pretty large. His bag's also pretty large, which can allow you to fit stuff in it. Like, you could fit a big old thing of Kit Kats in here. You can also fit their tags in Banjo's bag. I mean, not this one because it kind of juts out a little. But you could definitely fit Kazooie's tag in Banjo. In fact, okay, there it is. In fact, actually, Kazooie fits in the bag. And in fact, she can almost fit entirely in the bag, but her head will always be sticking out. The bag's not big enough to fit Kazooie in her entirety, but it is big enough to have her hanging out like this, like in the games. That's pretty cool. Overall, I really like these plushies, and I think that they're very accurate to the game. Kazooie especially. Banjo, his muzzle looks a little bit off, and I think that the BD&A and Takara Banjo plushies actually got his muzzle better. But overall, the proportions of Banjo are really good. The proportions of Banjo to Kazooie are really good. The fact that Kazooie could fit in the damn bag is a plus. And the bag itself has a lot of neat little details. Yeah, I would recommend this Banjo plush above any other Banjo plushies if you're a collector and a fan of the character. However, if you're a plush collector who likes collecting plushies from I guess, anywhere in time, especially from the 90s, then you might want to save up and get the Takara and BD&A Banjo. However, their prices were inflated. This guy soon might follow because, you know, Banjo. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. He's really soft, much like Olimar over here. Olimar's soft too, but this video is not about him. It's about Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo and Kazooie are really soft, and they're well made, well stitched, except for that part right there, but we're just not going to mention that. He's well stitched, he's well patterned, the proportions of him to Kazooie are really good, and I really like the detail on the bag. And overall, I just really like this plush, so yeah, I'd recommend it if you wanted to get a Banjo plush. Alright, that's it for the video. I guess I'll see you in 2020 then.
Uh-huh.